What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another reverse 1999 video. Alright guys, first off, just want to say thank you so much for the get well wishes. It was a rough day yesterday. Man, oh man, food poisoning is no joke. But I'm back almost 100% and I'm good enough to start making some videos. So tonight during reset, we get a brand new banner with Pickles and Diggers, and I want to talk a little bit about this banner because I feel like a lot of people are, number one, either looking forward to it or completely disregarding it. And I actually don't want to talk about Pickles here. I actually want to talk about Diggers and why he's actually going to be a really good unit. All right, so first off, let's look at Diggers' whole kit and really discuss what he's all about. And I'm going to do some comparison to some current units that are out there right now and why he might be a good choice for you and why you may want to skip him depending on what you have. Okay, so first off, he is going to be a plant. He's a 5-star. He is going to be mental damage, and he's releasing tomorrow. Okay, first thing you need to know, he's a control, shield, and a debuffer. So first thing you need to know about him is he has a few different things that make him actually very viable and useful as a 5-star character, and something you may want. So first off, his ultimate Street Dreams for you. He targets one unit, deals 450% mental damage, and inflicts 1 round of Nightmare. If the enemy is in stats down, negative status, or control status, this effect lasts for 2 rounds instead. Okay, so very important to note because he does provide these already himself, allowing Nightmare to do its thing. Now, Nightmare essentially is a debilitating attack that allows or makes the opponent not be able to act at all. Okay, also, the thing to note though is if you attack that unit while Nightmare's on there, it wakes them up from the nightmare or it up from the nightmare, and the effect is gone. So very important to note: do not cast an AOE on that unit. Do not cast any single attack on that unit. Just let it do its course, and that unit will be disabled for 1 or 2 turns completely, based on if you have any of these effects on there. Okay, so there's a couple other units I'm going to compare this to. Remember, there are units out there that currently do this. I'm going to talk about 2 specific ones. One is we're going to call it a budget one, like Pridewind does, and then we're going to call it another 5-star that you want to compare it to. Okay, Peace Above All. This is a single target attack, deals 200% mental damage. If you go to 2 stars, also provides you weakness, and then at 3 stars also provides you 1 stack of weakness, but increases the mental damage to 400%. Now, weakness, when the caster attacks, damage bonus is minus 25%, 1 stack after trigger. So it reduces 1 stack after trigger. So this is a great way to have a little bit more survivability, obviously reducing the amount of damage the opponent does. Okay, so that's what weakness is causing. And then Bubblism is a debuff, mass debuff as a matter of fact. Reality defense and mental defense minus 15% for all enemies for 2 rounds. Now the beauty of this, and this is kind of where he shines, is the fact that he provides both teams viability here. Okay, because if you don't know how to team build, I'm going to do probably a team building video myself eventually. Reality and mental are 2 different things, right? For the most part, you want to pair mental and reality together. Not together like as in like reality mental, but reality sticks with reality, mental sticks with mental, because there's a lot of benefits to having a solid team of just mental and then just reality. With Diggers, he kind of gives you the option to be in both teams at the same time, right? So if you want to do a mixed bag of things, he allows you to actually benefit with Bubblism here, because the debuff will also reduce the defense for reality and mental. Now, he is a mental damage unit, so obviously he benefits himself from here, but anyone reality on this team will also benefit, okay? Now, as you get further and further down into the debuff, at 2 stars, he also does Terror. Terror actually ends up reducing 1 Moxie, so a great way to reduce Moxie even further. And then the second one here reduces Moxie for 2 rounds because you get Terror for 2 rounds. So this is actually a really, really good way to use him on both set of teams, where a lot of other units, you only want to set them on either mental or reality because of the debuffs that they offer. And again, we're going to do a comparison to a couple of units, okay? So Bubble Parade, when entering the battle, gives the caster max HP times 33% shield to Diggers for 3 rounds, so making him a little more tanky. So that's a good way for him to survive. Bubble Parade, damage dealt 8% when he enters the battle, and then Bubble Parade, Insight 3, when entering battle, gives Diggers max HP 30 shield to other allies for 3 rounds. So again, making him allow others to be a little tankier. So again, 3 rounds worth of a shield, not too bad, especially if you stack a lot of HP on him. This shield can be pretty useful, especially for places like Limbo or UTTU, right? So again, super important to note that. Diggers Portray, Sweet Dreams for You, changes to 500 mental damage. Sweet Above All, mental damage is increased based on the star level of the attack, goes up to 450%. Sweet Dreams for You goes to 550. Peace Above All, 2 and 3 stars inflict additional stack of weakness, so you get one additional stack of that, and then of course Street Dreams for You changes to 600% mental damage. Now side cubes, Luxurious Leisure, Brave New World, His Bound Duty, a Free Heart, and you guys can see here what the stats are for him based on the insight that you go on. Okay, so here they're gonna say couple things about him. Review: Diggers is a 5-star plan whose kit revolves around both offensive and defensive debuffs. People tend to compare him to Cornbloom, and Diggers is far more oriented around the control aspect of debuffing and has access to defensive effects that help him, the team rather than just himself. In terms of offensive pressure, he isn't lacking using Bubblism. He is able to consistently reduce reality and mental defense while inflicting terror, a rank 2, which prevents enemies from building their ultimate. Perfect for those pesky stages where Moxie is an issue. Diggers can help defensive department, being able to semi-consistently inflict layers of weakness on any enemy with P's above all. Unfortunately, the potency of his reality mental defense is stuck at 15% no matter what rank Bubblism is. So while this allows other units, such as, we're going to compare him to Baby Blue, can reduce reality defense by 25% or mental defense by 35% respectively. So this is based on Cornbloom or Baby Blue. Now let's compare to Baby Blue. Okay, that's going to be probably the most the biggest comparison people are going to have, right? Actually, hold on. Before I do that, let me just quickly do this. There we go. Let's see. Where is Baby Blue? Where's my Baby Blue? I have her here somewhere. There she is. Okay. So Baby Blue. Let's talk about the debuff. So this here, mass debuff, damage minus 15% and damage taken plus 15% for all enemies, right? This can go up to 25%. Okay, very important to note. All enemies suffer damage dealt minus 25 and damage taken plus 25%. So this is an incredible debuff. So this already gives Baby Blue the advantage, period, because it's just a flat 25% reduced damage and also damage taken, so that alone is worth it, right? But now if you look at the actual mental damage here, this attack only reduces mental defense minus 35% for 3 rounds, so still really good, right? 35% is way more than 15%, but still, just to note, you guys can see here it only does affect the mental defense team, and then the ultimate here does 250% damage and does 1 nightmare versus Diggers, who does 400% more damage. Okay, so he does do more damage on ultimates, but he does lack in the actual percentages here. Now, if you are using a mixed team though, he's going to be a pretty damn good unit for you, okay? Versus someone like Baby Blue, who actually belongs in more of a mental team than anything else, okay? So keep that in mind. So someone like Diggers could actually benefit you quite a bit if you guys are building both a mental and reality team in one. But if you're going for one or the other, he actually is a little bit more lackluster. So keep that in mind, okay? So the best way to check, guys, is go to your filter, go to reality damage or mental damage, and see what units work for you, right? Because, I mean, look, there's a budget unit here as well, too, right? For mental, if you look at Twin Sleeps, for example, they offer something very similar. If you look at the debuff here, they also provide weakness, right? And in here, not only do they provide weakness, but they also provide critical defense minus 50% for 3 rounds. Now, they are only a 3-star unit. Keep that in mind, okay? But they still provide you guys an extra bonus here. So if you're looking for someone like Diggers who can do a lot of debuffs, plus has like really good like attack as well, honestly, Twin Sleeps is really good. But again, minus 35% mental defense. But this extra debuff here with weakness and the critical defense down is huge, okay? And if you look here, the Nightmare actually deals more damage than him and also lasts for 1 round anyway. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. Now, Diggers will obviously add an extra layer of Nightmare if there is a status down or negative effect on the opponent. But Twin Sleep also is huge for this. Not to mention their Twin Hypnosis. Every other round enters Arcane Stamp, and Arcane Stamp duration of inflicted statuses plus 1 round. So if this actually hits the same time as Nightmare, that Nightmare will last for 2 rounds rather than 1, and every other debuff here will also provide you guys some extra bonuses on your debuffs to last an extra round. So there are 2 good units here, guys, that allow you opposites of what Diggers does, but nobody gives you what Diggers does in terms of minus reality defense, minus mental defense at the same time. So again, is he worth pulling? My suggestion, quite honestly, look at your team and see how you're building it. If your main team is composed of both reality and mental defense, then he's actually going to be a really good unit and probably will complement you guys quite well. If you're running an all mental team, then I would avoid it. You have Baby Blue, you have Twin Sleeps, you have other units that are similar to like that can give you guys the buffs that you need. And also, if you go to reality, right? If you're doing the opposite, if you're running a reality team, there's going to be reality units that are going to give you buffs that you can use instead. So keep that in mind. All right, guys, this is Payne. Hope you enjoyed the video. Again, Diggers, in my opinion, a really good unit. Not a must-have, but again, take a look at your own team and see what you're running. If you're running both reality and mental, you may want to pull for him. All right, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.